For the first time since 2003, Tennessee is victorious here at the Swamp. Final score 31-11. Tennessee beats Florida. I'm Eric Kane alongside Matt Ray and Austin Pross here on the Volquest post-game mini podcast. Matt, again, Austin and I talked about the 2-minute drill. Yeah, we can pick apart some things here, but end of the day, Tennessee dominated. As the kids would say, that's the old belt to bad word right there. They just 28-0, 31-0. Complimentary football. Tennessee's offense could be stopped in the first half. Tennessee's defense, again, a couple 3-and-outs, turnover on downs. It felt like everything Florida, what could go wrong for Florida, penalty-wise, special teams-wise, did go. It was just not Florida's night.
Yeah, and you know what? There's been a lot of those nights here in the Swamp where it wasn't Tennessee's night.
Yep.
And those breaks went Tennessee's way. And, went into halftime up 31-0, didn't score again. But it was just a slow bleed. There was nothing Florida could really do about it. I know saw folks on the board, could have hung 50 on them, could have hung 60 on them. Yeah, you probably could have, but you bled this thing out and you drained the Swamp and you got a win and back-to-back wins for the first time since 03-04 when I was 9 and 10 years old.
Again, I say it all the time. Fan is short for a fanatic. And it's not fun seeing your offense go scoreless in the second half. But again, don't let that take away. Tennessee absolutely dominated this football game. Again, Jaden Ball is a really good player. Sign me up. I'd like to have him on this team. Jaden Ball is a great football player. And they hurt Tennessee defense a couple of times with those wheel routes, okay? DJ Lagway got loose a couple different times. But look at the stat sheet. Again, this was a complete and utter dominance. And sure, you love it to be 70-0 or whatever. But it is what it is. Tennessee picks up a win. And again, I'll go back to what I just said to Matt. This was Tennessee's night. What could go wrong with Florida did go wrong, and Tennessee was smiling pretty much the entire night.
They just came out and got the job done. We talked about this week. How many times did I reference they can't let this thing be a 12-round decision? It's got to be a third-round knockout, and they did. They knocked them out. Star Thomas knocked them out. Star Thomas took the soul of the Gators on I won't say it was as good as Tommy Frazier in '95, but it was very similar in terms of the broken tackles and running through the tackles and taking it all the way down there to the half-yard line. Tennessee did what they needed to do. I had a couple people text me. Tennessee didn't try to take too many deep shots tonight. They really took two. After the stop on fourth down before the Star Thomas run, they tried to go up top, and that's when Joey got strip sacked, but he recovered his own fumble. And then they took the other deep shot there, which is really only Joey's bad throw of the night because he kind of threw that one into double coverage there in the fourth quarter as they were trying to get him to 200 again. I'm not sure why that's a thing. It's 200 yards. I think it's kind of impressive, but
what would it go to 36 tonight or whatever? That's I wouldn't put him back out there in a blowout game to get it, but.
Yeah, well, they obviously did last week. But yeah, listen, a win's a win. You won in the Swamp by 20. I don't care. All the people on the board, Logical Larry and some of those guys, listen, they can bellyache and complain. But if you'd come out and won this game 31-11 by winning the fourth quarter and pulling away, everybody'd be ecstatic. You were up 31-0. You didn't do what South Carolina did last week. You did what it took to win the football game. Could they have scored more? Sure. Should they have scored more? Sure. Would it have been nice for fans to exercise 20 years of bad juju? Absolutely. You still get to exercise it. You won by 20 in the Swamp, the largest win since the 50s. Hubs was 3 then. So, it's a big thing. Now it sets you up next week to potentially go spoil Vanderbilt's Cinderella run and win 9 in the regular season. If you can win the bowl game, for a guy like Tyree West, who is a 4-year player, did not redshirt, will only play 4 years, he'll average 10 wins a season in a 4-year span. Hello, do we remember where we were for the last 15 years before the last 4 years? Because I do, and it was a lot of suck.
Yeah, you brought up, not only is this the most since 1950, this matches the biggest win in the Swamp. Tennessee's only scored over 21. Grant had this stat. He put it on the board. Tennessee's only scored over 21 points in the Swamp 8 times, and I was the 9th time. Again, the only thing that I have I'm going to stand on a table and say, what are you doing moment in this game is before half, completely butchered it, fumbled it. I mean, right before the half, that was so dumb. It could have been a touchdown. Instead, it was 3 points. I mean, just utter clock mismanagement there. But that's it, man. Again, you literally like perfect point. South Carolina 31-0 last week. They lost. I mean, in no way, shape, or form was this game ever in jeopardy. Again, it was bell to A. Like you whipped them.
To quote the great Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, boots to beep.
I thought, and we talked about this in the 2-minute drill, Matt. I thought Tennessee's run game. I mean, Tennessee ran. I don't have the stats in front of me. Well over 250. Deshaun Bishop got 16 first half carries. I thought he was great. Of course, Star Thomas's explosive run was great to see. Love what I saw from DeJuan Morris, even before like the fourth quarter when Tennessee was just trying to get at triple zeros. Tennessee dominated on the ground, and that was really, really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, I thought for Tennessee, in some of the wins, all of the losses, they kind of talked about alignment, assignment, needing to do those little things. I thought tonight you saw them do those little things. I asked Arion Carter specifically about how Florida tried to spread them out and test them, and very early in the contest, ran DJ Lagway right at him. And, just kind of what went into that play. And he said it was just kind of some of those things, just cleaning it up, being schematically sound. And Tennessee did a really good job of that tonight on both sides of the football.
Well, it helps that Arion Carter's healthy,
Yes.
right? Or healthier. I mean, he did look a lot more quick twitch, explosive. I said something to him. I said, man, you look like your old self. And he goes, I'm not back yet.
There was one play where it was out in space too, and I'm like, who was that? And he said, you said Arion Carter. I'm like, damn, he looked really quick on that play.
Did you really just not say ASS, but then you said that? That's hilarious. Yeah, those poor kids listening at home.
You said way worse, so I guess I'm good.
I know. But the point is like, Josh Josephs was limited all week long in practice. He guts through it. Arion Carter looks a lot more healthy than he has looked, and seemed like he had a spring in his step leaving the field. Didn't look like he had left it all out there on Steve Spurrier Field tonight, and we'll have a lot more going against his hometown team next week. So I mean, I think you can feel pretty good about where the defense is. Tackled pretty well again. I thought Tennessee, penalty wise, was really clean. They had 4 penalties, one of which I don't even count because you were intentionally taking the 5-yard loss to give Jackson Ross and little bit extra room. He had a fantastic night tonight, pinning them down in there inside the 5 a couple of times. And so, really great complimentary football win from Tennessee. And you just kind of like where they're at. I love the fact, we talked about this on the 2-minute drill, they're running the football. Makes it much easier for Aguilar to not put the ball in harm's way. I mean, he was really clean tonight. And I'm going to tell you right now, Ethan Davis is really coming on.
That's what I was going to say.
And what does that say? It says, don't be so quick to bail out on a kid because he has potential and doesn't make it happen right away. Heupel talked about that. Sometimes it doesn't happen the way we want it to happen, right? Whether it's the fans with the player with a player, the parents player, or the parents of the player for the player. And so if they can continue to get him playing the way they're playing, Brame's finding a niche out there at slot. I kind of like him. He's kind of a mismatch problem, getting him out there a little bit. This team's rounding into form here in November, which I get it. I mean, regular season ends next week, but you like where they're trending here, and you're going to look back and go, man, they let them a couple get away. But, again, this is a team that most people would have taken 9-3 before the season started based on the fact their quarterback didn't arrive until Memorial Day.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that quarterback here in a moment. He brought up Ethan Davis. I mean, 100% in the game plan. I mean, they went to him. He booked in the first drive of the game, first reception, then they kind of ended that scoring drive right there. Underneath stuff, they put him in different spots. I mean, Ethan Davis, again, I thought he looked really good. And Jack Van Dorselaer played a lot of snaps. And, it's interesting, Matt. You saw, I mean, he had a decent angle down there field level. Tennessee, runs multiple tight end sets. Florida lived in 12 personnel tonight. And you know what that meant for Tennessee's defense? They lived in 4-3. Jalen McMurray, I'm excited to go back and look at, what the snap count is, because I'm not saying I'm excited because he didn't play that much, but I bet he only played maybe 20 snaps.
Yep.
Tennessee lived in 4-3 tonight because they were matching that 12 personnel with a 4-3 look. But again, back to Austin's point, I thought Ethan Davis looked really good, and excited about Jack Van Dorselaer and kind of what this offense can look like. And you kind of look to next year. I know you got one more game. It's a big one, but you return 2 really if everything stays the same, you return maybe 5 starting offensive linemen, like when you count in your 6-man, a couple of running backs that you like, a couple of receivers that you like, a tight end room that you love. And this offense could look really good next year.
Yeah, it really can. And I mean, I think one of my things coming into this game, kind of regardless of if Tennessee won it, how they won it, they've set themselves up next week. You're talking about this core, especially offensively, to take another step toward the future, but also firmly establish where the floor is for your program, right? I mean, what I also was talking about with Tyree West is just crazy to think about over a 4-year run. But now you're sitting here, you go win next week, you beat Vanderbilt, and you dash their playoff hopes, whatever those are right now. You're probably inside the top 15 or close to end the season with a chance to win 10 again. I mean, I think that's one of my biggest takeaways from this was you're just continuing to trend in the right direction overall as a program, not just this season. I think it's just another step in the right direction.
Yeah, and I mean, again, you're going back home next week, and you do not want to lose 3 games at home. I mean, you've been such a great home football team under this regime. And if you lose to Vanderbilt, number one, that's Vanderbilt. You don't want to lose to them. Recognize they are a great team. We'll talk about that all week long. But you don't want to lose at home. You want to finish the season off the right way and kind of dash their playoff hopes in the process. End of the day, again, I mean, Tennessee just it felt like it got off the bus with a 14-0 lead. I mean, and Tennessee earned it. Tennessee worked, and again, that first quarter was phenomenal, and you kind of did kind of coast to the finish line there. Anything else, Austin, that stood out from this football game? Again, I continue to say it, but Tennessee just whipped them. I mean, there's not really much else you can say.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can get the ire of Ron DeSantis, he's all fired up on Twitter. I mean, hey, listen, some people know how to drain the swamp. I mean, to keep it in political terms. And Joey Aguilar is the latest California quarterback to do it. Now, let's talk about what he said post game when it comes to the extra year of potential eligibility. He says he's not signed anything. That a lot of that is just words out in the air. He said, "What, Matt? Nothing has changed as far as the plans for next year." Now, I think maybe part of that is let's see what happens. Let's put our name on it and see what happens. Not get our hopes up, and then if it were to be granted, then he'd have a decision to make. But I think he ultimately wants to play this string of games out like it's his last, because it could be, and doesn't want to. You don't want to go into it thinking that you might have another year, and then you don't, and you don't get a proper goodbye. And so I think he's kind of just enjoying the moment. And I know we had a lot of fun with the fans tonight. And again, I think a lot of this will determine when do they rule on this decision, what do they decide, and then obviously the NIL number piece, for if he would want to come back.
Nothing to say. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to like Diego Pot or no, really Andre Carrick's the one that came to mind. Like, I don't know what his deal was last year. Like, he was banking on getting that extra year, and he didn't go through senior day activities or anything. And then it's kind of like, man, you just kind of missed your moment there. So yeah, obviously we're talking about the offense and everything that returns. You bring back a quarterback like that, or have the potential to, could be pretty dangerous. So anyway, that's a lot of offseason chatter. We'll go back and look at the post game and all that, but it should be on the board, should be up on the website right now. Tennessee, a dominating win, 31-11. Tennessee at one point in time in the first quarter, 202 yards of total offense. Florida, 1 yard of total offense. Again, it was that type of start for the University of Tennessee. We'll see if Tennessee can finish off the regular season on a high note, beat a rival, and dash any playoff hopes for the Commodores. That's coming up next week, 3:30. Is that right? 3:30 kickoff at Neyland Stadium.
3:30 kickoff. That's correct.
Yeah, 3:30 kickoff, and of course, we'll have plenty more coverage up on the board tonight and tomorrow at Volquest.com. This has been the Volquest Postgame Mini Podcast. Tennessee first win since 2003 here in the Swamp, 31-11.